Assalamu alaikum and greetings, humans. I'm in my room, still on my bed, still with the precarious stack of books, so I'm sorry for any shaking in the video. But I did have a topic that was kind of sitting on my heart today, and I'll tell you the reason why, and also how I seek to remedy it, Insha'Allah. Okay, so first and foremost, it's after Isha. It's a little late, so I'm not going to be able to talk super loud because my mom is, well, not this wall, but that wall, is asleep behind that wall. So I'm going to try and keep my voice down. I know she's got the TV on, so she probably can't hear me anyway, but I'm going to try and keep my voice down. So today is the 5th day, well, now the 6th day, by the time you get this, maybe the 7th day of Ramadan. We're almost a whole week in, alhamdulillah. We've all lived to see it, and it's supposed to be such a super great, joyous time, right? Well, it was for the first couple of days, and then that excitement kind of trickled off a little bit. As you get used to your fasting, that sort of special feeling kind of goes down a little bit. So I was concerned that, oh my goodness, I am not cut out to experience the greatness of Ramadan by myself. Last Ramadan, I hung out a lot with my sister Laura, who is, subhanAllah, one of my best friends in the whole world. Salaam, Laura, if you're watching this. And this year, I'm more or less doing it by myself. And that's okay. But it just means I have to take a couple of extra steps. So this is my kind of short list of how to make Ramadan special. And just to be clear, it's a reminder first to myself before I even think of bringing it to you all. So inshallah, you can benefit from some of it, right? If not all of it, inshallah. Okay, so the first thing on my list says check your heart. Okay, not like go to the doctor, get a stethoscope, but check your heart. Why are you fasting? Is it so you can be that weird girl at the office wearing the ask me while I'm fasting button? Or so you can make it difficult when people say, oh, I'm bringing this to our staff meeting, and you're like, I'm not bringing anything, I'm fasting. Is it because you have to? Is it because you hear that little bitty voice of your ummi in your ear, or your mom, or your madre, or muti saying, you should be fasting, you should be fasting? Or are you doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Are you being devoted in your prayers? Are you just doing it because now it's just something you do out of habit? Or is it something where you realize that when you pray, you are standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Does it have that special feeling? Are you completely in your prayers? Or are you thinking about, oh, when I finish Dhuhr, I've got to go back to work, and I've got these 3 account papers, and I've got these papers to grade, and I've got to talk to these students and help these students with this assignment? What are you doing? So recheck why you're doing it, and is your heart in it, right? So that would be the first step. 1, check your heart. Like, run a diagnostics test. See what's missing. What are you just going through the motions of, and what is your heart really in? And then the second thing is renew your intentions. The Hadith says, as narrated by Umar ibn al-Khattab, okay, sorry, but it says that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, actions are but by their motives. So each man will have what he intended, and so on and so forth. It's the first hadith of the 40 hadith Nawawi. So the things that you do are purely by what you intend. So in the morning, when you get up, say, maybe not out loud, but put a post-it somewhere that just says intention, so you remember when you go to the bathroom and you look and you're like, intention, that's important. Rededicate yourself on a daily basis to this fast and to, inshallah, getting the most out of it and giving Allah the most that you can give out of this month. Okay? Next is 3, make a schedule. Go into your Google Calendar, go into the calendar on your phone, whichever one you use, and block in throughout your day things that you cannot miss, right? So you cannot miss Fajr, you cannot miss Dhuhr, you cannot miss Asr, you cannot miss Maghrib, and maybe you can't miss going to the masjid for iftar, and you can't miss Isha, and maybe you also can't miss staying in the masjid after Isha to pray Tarawih, okay? Whatever that may be, okay? Block in those things that are necessary and that you have to do. And then go back through and maybe make a larger box of things that you want to do. Okay, I want to do this, and I also want to do this, right? So maybe you want to sit and do dhikr after dhuhr for 15 minutes, right? But you know that maybe right after dhikr, right after dhuhr, you don't have that kind of time. Maybe you gotta rush back to a class, okay? And so maybe you block out an hour, and it says, okay, sometime in here, gotta spend that 15 minutes doing dhikr. Spend that, 45 minutes reading Quran, doing some memorization, whatever. Put in those other things, right? And then don't forget to schedule time for your family and for your loved ones and for your friends, Those people are important too. Share this month with them, okay? So that's number 3, make a schedule. Number 4, hang out with Muslims. This may seem like the most obvious, but nothing makes a holiday feel more special than sharing it and spending time with people who also celebrate that holiday. Right? Nobody ever says, oh yay, I get to spend Christmas by myself. People aren't always excited for that. They want to spend it with their friends and with their families, and with people they love and care about. And so, since you love and care about your brothers and sisters in Islam for the sake of Allah, then go spend time with them, And those of you who are born Muslim or just have the extra time, invite your convert friends, invite the single people who are living away from home. Maybe they're studying, right? Invite them to come and have iftar with you. Invite them to the masjid to go to Tarawih, because sometimes when you're a single person, especially if you're a single lady, it can be a little daunting to go, I'm gonna go to the masjid all by myself, super late, and I'm gonna have to take the train, and I'm gonna have to take the train back home in the dark, super late. So that can be a little intimidating. Sometimes it's nice to go with another person, especially somebody who's familiar with that community and can kind of introduce you around. That feels really good, and it feels like that person cares about you. Okay? So there's that. Number 1, check your heart. Number 2, renew your intentions. Number 3, make a schedule. And number 4, hang out with Muslims. Number 5, decorate. I decorated my room. It says Ramadan Mubarak, and okay, let's see. And then there's some string lights up there. Okay? It's beautiful to me. I made the words on strings, Oh, still a little high. I made the words on strings and all that stuff. So it's completely handmade. The lights are lights that we have for Christmas, but of course they're not being used right now because it's May, or when you watch this, June, right? So borrow the things that you have from other holidays, maybe ones that you don't celebrate anymore, and put them suckers up. Decorate, make it festive. If you don't make it festive, who will? Okay, next is share the holiday with people at work. I work in a high school, and we happen to have a fair number of Muslim students. I'm the advisor of the MSA, so the students ask me, hey, Miss Snaplet, will you send out an email about Ramadan? Will you tell people, we're fasting and we can't do this ice cream lab at the end of the year? Or, that physical activity, especially since it's been warm, not really, but in the middle of the day, is kind of a lot for us sometimes, right? So I sent out that email. I said, hey, we have this prayer space available and want students to come and pray together. Hey, I have this room where you can go during lunch instead of sitting with everyone. So because that email went to the entire staff, now everyone knows that I'm fasting, and so they're sensitive. And perhaps even my coworker who I work most closely with, she reminds me every day, make sure you get up early to eat, which I think is so sweet. And I've had coworkers ask me, is saying Happy Ramadan acceptable? Of course. Of course. Tell your students Happy Ramadan. Tell people, sometimes sharing it at work is not a bad thing. Just so people are aware and it's in their consciousness somewhere and they can be aware of it, and not say, hey, we're going to have this, we're going to do a lunch meeting at Panera, see y'all there. And it's like, I can go, but I'm not going to eat, and then you're going to have to answer questions. But if you make yourself available to questions, people will ask them as they come, or they might do some research. And I made sure to tell them, there's no such thing as a stupid question. If you feel uncomfortable, slip me a note underneath my door and I'd be happy to answer it later, Okay, that's that. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7? Volunteer. Okay? Remember, you want to give, right? Give sadaqah. And your time is one of the most valuable things that you have. Even if you can't give money or you don't have a whole lot of money to give, spending your time with people or helping out people means a lot. Go to the masjid and help prepare an iftar. Volunteer to watch kids, sisters, if you can't fast or pray. Visit the elderly, Find something in your community, even if it's not Muslim based. Find something in your community and volunteer. Help the people around you, okay? Because that creates a really beautiful sense of community. And it's nice and it feels good. So do that. Number 8. Learn something new. Okay? Learn something new. As Muslims, our goal is to continue to learn all the time something new, and there's always something to learn. If you think you know everything, go back to the first thing you think you know and do some research, because I'm sure you'll find something else to be in awe or amazed at, right? So go in depth about a prophet that maybe just a little sprinkling about. Go back and watch videos on the seerah or read something, because nothing made me fall more in love with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Quran than seeing when these verses were revealed in his life, what they corresponded to, and all that different stuff. Like, it's really, really beautiful and really cool, and it gives you like warm fuzzies, and that's a great feeling. Okay? And then number 9, the last thing, share that information with non-Muslim family. So I'm the only one fasting in my house. My parents aren't Muslim, so they're not fasting, but they have been very, very incredibly sweet, alhamdullilah, and respectful and understanding of my fast. But share information. Share stories from the Quran with them. I shared a story with my mother about, I feel like I'm going to butcher this, Khidr. I tried. Okay, I didn't go super in depth. I didn't pick it apart with her, but I told her that story, and then we could discuss it. I told her about the boat and the boy, and the Wall. Okay? And if you don't know that story, it's a really, really cool story. And I wish I could remember where in the Quran it is. But you're reading the whole thing, inshallah, you'll find it. Or you can just look on, look online. Somebody will tell you the story. But share that information. So when I shared that story with her, we could then talk about it. We could, just have intelligent conversation about something else outside of, Tamara, what are you making for dinner? Right? Okay, and so maybe, I know my mother also gets up really early every single day. She's up at like 5, sitting at the kitchen table, doing some sort of Bible study, reading her Bible, whatever. And so I thought it would be cool to have little note cards with different du'as that I could leave for her, and then, so that's what we've been doing, occasionally sharing stories from the Quran, but also leaving little du'as. This video is getting way too long, but inshallah this is helpful. Just a quick run through of those things again. 1, check your heart. 2, renew your intentions. 3, hang out with Muslims. 4, make a schedule. 5, decorate. 6, share your holiday with people at work. 7, volunteer. 8, learn something new. And 9, share that information with non-Muslim friends and family. So inshallah this has been helpful. Hopefully Ramadan feels special to you and you are perhaps renewed after maybe a beginning of Ramadan slump, mid-Ramadan slump, or you're just kind of sliding on your way to Eid. But inshallah this is helpful. Inshallah you feel renewed and excited and you learn something new. Okay? So thank you. I'd love to hear about what you're doing this Ramadan in the comments down below. You can like this video. Everyone says give me a big thumbs up. I accept all sizes of thumbs up. Okay, so inshallah I'll see you in my next video. Bye!